journey started at Scrabster on the mainland, where we caught the ferry with all of this wood. The sun had long set. The next morning we woke up to rough seas, but what beautiful views out of the window of our accommodation. So as you can see, it's a very blowy day here on Orkney today. Last night we had very strong winds, heavy showers, hail showers as well. This morning we've come to the beach, or one of the beaches, to see the waves. I think the tide was going out. I'm not sure if it's coming back in now actually, but there's some very big waves out there and the sea is still quite rough. We've still got showers. It certainly blows the cobwebs away. And as you can see, my hair's all over the show in the wind. And I can't see through my glasses for the salt spray. So, just look at that. Oh, it's gonna get me. Oh, we've got some old sea houses. Sangio fishermen's huts. Bovine friends. So look how they're built. Literally within the rock going down. The next morning we set sail to visit Sunday. So we are now on the Isle of Sanday, and behind me is Loch Ness Bay, and there is a shipwreck which you can just see the very top of, which I believe is from World War One, which is a German ship that basically was taken down in the war. So I'm not sure, I think this might be something to do with the war, like a bunker, like an artillery bunker or something. be. So we've found some old abandoned buildings and a trigger point. So I'm not sure if this is one of the highest points of the island, no idea. Triangular wall there. There's quite a few artillery World War bunkers as well, but they're all on farmland, so we can't get to those. These are the stone buildings. So we're here at the Scapa Flow defences, which were used during the war, but Winston Churchill was involved with. And we also have a shipwreck in front of me, so we'll go and see that. This is the big defence to stop enemy ships. And it's just basically a big massive causeway now, a road between the little islands here. And then out over there you can just make out a mast, and there's a shipwreck there. I think there might be several shipwrecks. Side of the causeway and the defence have more shipwrecks. It's Shipwreck City. Lovely little bay here. Here we have an Italian chapel which is built here. Today we visited Hoy and its dramatic coastline. We're now on the island of Hoy. We've got Highland cattle in front. So we've got crane hoist, anti-torpedo netting, used for World War II. And we've got an anchor over there from a German warship in 1919 that sank. And then this is a big propeller shaft from 1916 from one of our ships. Today we had the worst weather out of the whole trip. Gale force winds, blowing rain, high tide. So I decided to go out and venture around our local area of Palace near Versailles. Rough day today. Rough, windy, very windy. Very windy. So we're at Mole Head, and this is tidal and the sea comes into this big gorge. We're about to go in this cave, but look at this view. To go over these steps, and then look at that. Cool, okay. You have to really get down low. I think it's just a little entrance. Ugh. Wow, this is cosy. I don't know if I can walk through it. It's quite a way. See, we've got quite a few bunkers from the war, and gunneries. Oops. Probably have a gun up there, I imagine. Would be in their bunker. We're in Yesnaby. That seal's back up again. There's a seal out there, but whenever I get the camera out, he disappears. Look at this little rock. This way. A lot of foam on the beach. All the stormy weather we've had yesterday. Gosh, it's a bit of a bog here. Ooh, it really is a bog. Another little water runoff. Very muddy. Oh, looks like we've dipped down here now. Oh, another one of these little pebbles. It was a pebble, not a rock, sorry. I said a rock before, but it's one of these pebbles. People have decorated pebbles. That one. Huh. See the other side over there. Right. See on the other edge of this cliff here. I think it's around this side. A little cove. Oh, rocky down there. Oh, rocky. Getting a bit of sea misty spray. Climbing hills. Well, at least it'd be easier getting back. It's mostly downhill on the way back. There's actually rain coming in actually, damn it. Damn it, damn it. Quite a lot of rain actually. Might have to turn back. Quickly get up here. Right, there's a rainbow out there. See that? Wow. Yeah. Little head. Bump. So you're over there. All the way. I'm not going to go near the edge, but there. Seems to rain there with the rainbow. Look at this way. Wow, look at that. This. We'll go over this side for a minute. The light on that. Look at the crepuscular rays. Can't speak. Wow. I'll zoom you out. Wow. So we've seen that view that way. Let's go back to the way we came. The rain is coming in now. I can just feel it spitting and it's blowing. think everyone's at the cars, so too sweet. The light over there. Oh. Nice. Quick view over here and then we'll head back, I think. Before we get drenched. Woo! It's on the bike. Relax. Whoop. I'm not going to go too far to the edge. I'm coming. Right. That's here. There we are. It's the other side of where we stood. And now I think it's time to go because the rain's coming and there's a rainbow. So we're now just walking the Bay of Bersay, which is literally just at the back of where we're staying, because where we're staying is just up there. And a few moments ago there was an owl hunting here. I believe it's a short-eared owl, but I won't be able to get it on here, I don't think. Well, I can't see it anymore. It's flown off. I don't know if the sun's starting to set now. We've got all these rocks here. This is the beach. Well, more like rocks. At the back. The sea was, well, very rough yesterday, so this would have all been massive waves over here yesterday. And I think in here we've got some more. Well, I think one of them might be an old fisherman's hut actually. And I think there could be a bunker as well, a war bunker. Apparently you normally get seals here, but because the weather's been so stormy, they've not been around here. Which is a shame. So much rock. Even the oyster catchers. The sunset with the cliffs. That's right, you've got some fishermen's baskets there. I wonder if they've been washed up from the stormy weather from somewhere else. That sunset. Right, so apparently this is an old gunnery, but I'm wondering if they repurposed this building for the gunnery. Because it looks similar to these old fisherman huts, and I reckon they've repurposed them for the use in the war. This is definitely an old fisherman's hut, look at it. And they may well have used it for the war, but that's a fisherman's hut, that. The wall. Old cattle grid and stuff there. They use this for livestock. Nice. See if we can get down here. Who says? Look at all this. All this seaweed being washed up. Storm, and then you get erosion. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to scale the birds.